Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check. What's going on, and welcome back to episode 10 of the Apex Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Matt. We got Face and Ice with us tonight. And you can find out more about us on our Discord. The link is down below. We also have links to our YouTube where we post all of our podcast content, as well as our links to our individual Twitter handles. What's going on, guys? There we go. You guys there? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
There we go. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Another night of the podcast.
Another night. So what you guys been up to this week? You guys been playing anything else besides Destiny?
Lots of Gambit. Lots of Gambit.
You and me both, bro. Jesus God. I never want to play Gambit again. I'm so done with it.
I've been playing a bit of Gambit with mostly just because clan members have been playing, and then like, hey, Face, come play Gambit. It's fun. I don't know. I tried. I've been playing WoW, and I tried out what's it called? BioShock again.
Ooh, I like BioShock.
It's so old. Like the old sound system on it or whatever just doesn't sound right compared to like Destiny, and of course the guns feel terrible.
Of course.
It's terrifying. Oh my god. I ended up stopping playing after like half an hour because I'm just like, okay, this is just a horror show. I'm done.
Yeah, you're playing the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, really cool games. I don't think I've ever beat any of them though, because they are quite scary.
Yeah, I'm generally not a first-person game player. I like
I
single
bought
player.
those on Steam when they were on sale, and I haven't touched them. They're on my back catalog of games to play.
That's something that I want to jump back into eventually too. But like, just recently, in the last couple of years, there's just games coming out left and right.
Yeah. Well,
It's
then
like
I
too
realized
much.
that this not the Enlightened, the Undying title is available next week, and I should probably make sure I have all the triumphs I need.
That one's disappearing too, right? So if you don't get it,
disappearing.
I don't even think I started on that, so I'm giving that one up.
If you've got like the hardest part, really is the pinnacle weapons. If you've got stuff like Randy's and Edgewise and Exit Strategy, you might as well do it. We've got 3 weeks left of the season.
I think I just need Edgewise.
Yeah, and that one's not that bad. It's just
Nah.
any exotic or heavy weapon quests are always a pain because of heavy ammo.
Speaking of the pinnacles, that's like literally all I've been doing. I went into Gambit on reset, and I was like, I really need to just buckle down and get Delirium finally. And then when I got it, I was like, this is not enough. I must get them all. So I got Hush and the SMG. It's nice as though that they kind of like work together. So like as I was doing one, I was kind of at least filling up some of the steps for the other. So it wasn't horrible. And thank God for Triple Infamy. Oh, I'm dredging 2 now. So that's my 3rd title.
Dredge, nice, yeah.
That's all you need. 3, and then you don't need any more titles in the game.
What did you find was the hardest step of the pinnacle weapons you've been doing?
Hardest? Probably it was. Well, I'll start with Randy's. I was just grinding Randy's out, and that was just a bitch. But the hardest thing is probably the medals for Hush, just to finish that. But like
Better
I said,
or worse than exit strategy.
Exit strategy. I think I liked exit strategy better. It was easier for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I finished that quest before I even finished the Hush quest, and I didn't even have the quest on me. So I was already like doing some of the Hush quest.
Well, with extra strategy wasn't bad because you could just use Recluse. You know.
Yeah, there you go. Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you guys been playing anything else? That's about it.
That is about it.
Yeah, I could definitely turn them up for sure.
Did a few Master Nightfalls this weekend. Not much. It was a crazy week at work.
Crazy week of Gambit for me. Did you guys it's a random weird question, but did you guys get to check out Disney Plus?
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big TV watcher.
The Mandalorian's on there. I just finished the 2nd episode.
Yeah, that show is really good.
Really good. A little short though, right?
I mean, they're only 30-minute episodes.
Which I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I guess the pacing's good. Like I don't find myself like bored in an episode.
Oh man, I thought it was perfect. There's enough breathing room in the episodes, so it doesn't feel like everything's right on top of each other. But it also doesn't feel like with some Game of Thrones episodes or other TV shows, it's like, all right, how much longer do we have in this episode before something happens? Or can I get to the next one already? The Mandalorian has just been like, it's just happening. This is what it's supposed to do.
I'm definitely digging it for sure. For sure. What are you watching, Kayla? She was watching like the old animated ones.
My mother stumbled upon some of the Pixar shorts, and she loves them.
That's what I did. That's literally what I did. Like the first night I was messing with it, I did some shorts. Me and my wife love the lava one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, wow, that's a great one.
I'm looking forward to. I think there's something about the last season of the Clone Wars is getting on there, and like that show's had a lot of issues, but I'm looking forward to that.
Was that's the animated one, right?
Yeah, the one. Wait, not the original animated one, which was fantastic, but the
second one,
the CG one. Yeah, which was less fantastic, but still pretty good.
Weren't they both CG?
No, the first one was animated.
It was. It looked like
original Clone Wars. Like it came out before episode 3. It was all cartoon. It aired on Cartoon Network.
Oh.
I think it's all on YouTube and definitely worth checking out if you haven't.
I probably will. That sounds good. So what's going on, guys? I'm talking to chat, actually. I should have specified. Chat, what's going on? Already asked you guys.
You just asked me.
Yeah. We're going to do a little TWAB review, even though there wasn't too much, but I think we know what the big ones are, right?
Yes.
Ice, what do you think about them nerfing Recluse, dude?
It'll still be good.
Yeah. So essentially, what you're still going to be able to proc Master of Arms, right? But when you're hitting the body, it will do lower numbers. You're not going to automatically crit, right? No crits unless you're actually hitting the head. So I don't know. I think it's still going to be too OP.
Well, I think it is probably one of the most perfect examples of balancing that I've ever seen anyone do in a game. Because the perk has been the issue all along. Like, yeah, there's the external issue of lightweight SMGs just do so much damage. that's an issue that they'll have to fix eventually. But that's
Yeah.
not the reason that Recluse was a monster. And if
Massive arms.
they touched that instead of just Recluse, that would cause certain issues. So instead, by just nerfing Recluse, or specifically the Master of Arms perk, they allow the gun to still be useful. If you're good at it, it's still going to be really good.
Mhm.
It's no longer a spray and pray, so that takes away the complaint of like, well, this gun is too easy to use. Changing the way it procced would have completely wrecked it in PvE. So I really respect that they didn't do that.
So you're happy that it didn't need to be like a recluse kill to proc Master of Arms. You're happy they didn't go that route.
That had to be a non-recluse kill.
No, no. I'm saying it could be anything right now, right? Any one of your weapons will proc it.
Yep, and that's what it currently is, and that's what it will be.
Yeah, and you're okay with that? I think maybe it should just be a kill with recluse should proc it.
Only a kill with recluse?
Yeah, maybe
people have been saying the complete opposite.
No, I say make it. That's the gun. Put that on the gun. You know what I mean? Get a kill with recluse, then you proc it, and then make it easier. Because I could just go to Izanagi's, just hit some fucking ad, and then boom, I have Master of Arms.
That would be basically what Rampage is.
Yeah, I mean,
the unique perk makes it so you can get a kill with
recluse.
any weapon.
I don't know. I feel like you could further nerf it like that and kind of.
That wouldn't have fixed the issue that people were having with it. It would have initially stopped the oh no, I'm running mountaintop recluse and I can get a one-shot kill and then go on a rampage. But it doesn't stop the issue of I can get a kill and then go on a rampage. Recluse without a buff or without the perk still does a ton of damage. People were saying the exact opposite, where if we remove it so that you can only proc it with other weapons, then you wouldn't be able to just keep chaining recluse over and over, which would have fixed it in PvP, but it also would have murdered it in PvE entirely, which is why I'm glad that they didn't do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's good. I don't know really what to expect until we see it. I definitely think it's going to be better in PvP. You're going to have a lot less complaints. I'm hoping, because like you said, you can't just spray and pray it. You gotta be aiming for the head there. But it should be doing increased numbers even at the body once Master of Arms is perked. So I want to see how
just like it, like anything that has kill clip or rampage currently is. I don't know the exact number, but
no, that's
shouldn't
good.
be ridiculous.
Now, on top of that nerf, we're getting one to the Titan helmet, one-eyed mask. And I'm very happy about that as well. I'm pretty sure you guys are too.
It's been needed for a long time.
It's like, come on. Like we're talking about since Forsaken launched.
Titans have been strong in the Crucible for a while.
Yeah.
Well, they nerfed it once before.
Did they though? But it wasn't really like a nerf.
It used to give full health and I think full overshield, and now it just gives an overshield and then starts to regen health.
Okay. So it was like super OP.
It was very, very OP. Now this is one where I don't quite agree with it as much. What they did with it was like it's a start, but it doesn't address the fact that in a 1v1, there's no other exotic that you could potentially use that would even come close to the potential that one a mask has. You get wall hacks for doing nothing. Like,
no, it's the wall hacks have to go, but that's not going. So I don't understand. Are they actually nerfing this thing?
Well, they're removing the overshield. What it does is it means that you can't go into like a 1-on-3, get a kill, and then you instantly have an overshield, which previously meant that whoever you're fighting is now fucked because they've got to do all the damage they did to you again, and meanwhile any damage you did to them they still have taken on. So it was a very aggressive minded exotic before. Now it's not as much. It's more of like a sit back, get hit by something, get wall hacks, and then you can kill them and you'll get health regen if you kill them. So it's it could be worse. They could have not touched it at all. This doesn't change the fact that you're still going to be able to get your regen from getting a kill, and your health or your tracking.
Just I don't know.
It's like the only decent exotic to use on a Titan for PvP.
I wouldn't. I think it's the only option though, right?
All the
You get
other
wall
ones
hack.
are all melee based.
I wouldn't
all of
say it's
them,
the
but-
only option. It's definitely probably the strongest.
Right now, it's. I mean, come on.
Because
Having
I've had
somebody
fun
shoot
running
near
around
you, and then
with.
you see them on your radar is kind of crazy.
I've had fun running around with Top Tree, Striker, or the same with hammers with Peregrine Greaves and just taking people out of supers. Or running Insurmountable Skull Fort and Top Tree and just
See, but yeah, that's still a
have
pretty viable
infinite.
option.
But those are. You wouldn't wear those all the time.
I don't know. I don't know enough about PvP or Titans because Titans are trash and I never play them.
He probably never will
Wait,
again
here's
after this
Face's
nerf too.
opinions on Titans.
Probably won't.
I'm a Titan main. I've always been a Titan.
I mean, so Dado put out his video talking about them. I disagree with him on Reckless. I don't think it needs to be totally removed from the game. I think it's fine where it is.
He's a little dramatic sometimes.
But I don't. This is going to get into a conversation about exotics as a whole, where like some exotics do something passive, some exotics do something active. The ones that are passive should kind of be less dramatic because they require nothing on your end. But on the other hand, if they're too less dramatic, no one's going to use them. Like, I think it was Nezarek Sin used to not be able to stack past 20 seconds. Or not, it used to not be able to stack past 6 seconds, I think, one proc. And it was like, okay, if I get more than one kill in a short period of time, it's pointless. And no one ended up using it, except for a few people. And then you've got One-Eyed Mask, on the other hand, where you get wall hacks and health regen, and you don't change your playstyle at all. I'm looking at my collections. I can't think of anything else that Titan would end up running. I mean, you've got War Rig, which is too specific. You've got Hellfire Heart, which was great. 14-second grenade cooldown is probably really good. But, like, you're not going to hold your super for that in Crucible. So it's probably Armamentarium or Heart of Inmost Light, which is another passive one that you just have to, like, drop a barricade and then throw it.
So, in short, just Titans are trash?
Well, that's because of their jump and their other stuff. I like having them to buff my damage, though. That's nice.
But you hate their jump? Their jump's not bad.
It
Titan jump with line ramparts are the best.
True, that does get some pretty good distance.
And I love when we are just waiting on something and you just shoulder charge people off ledges.
Man, why might Face hate Titans? He didn't play Eater of Worlds with a bunch of Titan mains.
All right, let's get to the topic of the show. Hey, Sweaty, I see you're in here, bro. We're dedicating this episode to you.
We are?
So I hope you know. It's the PvP and Shadowkeep episode. Come on, I want to hear your thoughts before we start this voyage.
PvP's way better.
He's gone. He just left. The meta is bad. Thanks.
The meta's always bad.
All right, thank God we brought all the PvE players in here to talk about PvP.
Well, we're the target audience.
Yeah.
The main PvP audience is like 10 people.
Thunder Coil, though. Anyway, we're going to start with the changes to PvP. Start talking about some of those first. Start with like the new maps that they added that aren't so new, but are new to some people, but they're great. Like to me, they're like some of the best maps in Destiny.
Is it because of nostalgia or because you actually enjoy them?
Because they're good for what they are. Like I mean, it depends. I really like Widow's Court, and I think it's good. You could actually have 6v6 on there. It's a little crazy, but you could do it, and it works. And then obviously your 3v3, Trials used to be on that map a lot.
Hmm.
That Twilight Gap is
That's a
also
good map.
that's like one of my faves because you have like your like upper levels and then your lower levels, so you could kind of, if you know the map, you could kind of like just map people and like go around like a pillar and just get back to them. I love that map.
I would have liked to
Lot-
see more maps come back, like Cauldron.
I think, bro, I think at this rate we're gonna get it. They'll probably just do it. Yeah, look, bring back Cauldron. I like Cauldron too. It's a good what's it called?
Because the map was cool
Osiris
because it had the
map.
doors.
I mean, dude, there's some really good maps in that game. The problem was with Destiny 2, when it was in vanilla, they started that whole 4v4 nonsense and literally like ruined how they would make maps, or even if you brought those maps over while they were at 4v4, it wouldn't work as well. You know what I mean?
PvP was so bad.
Yeah, they ruined what Destiny was as like it's a PvP identity when it came to Destiny 2. But what was the last map that they brought back? I'm drawing a blank.
I don't think they brought back a new map.
No, it was just those two that they brought back.
I thought so.
Yeah, and maybe we got some PS4 ones. I'm guessing, right? I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's called.
That terrible one in
Yeah, and I think I
Tangled
played it like
Shore.
once or twice. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Yeah, but
Is Javelin your favorite map, Sweaty?
clearly. But you guys remember Exodus Blue? The
Yes,
small
I
map?
was just
I
thinking
love
of that.
map. I don't know
That was a
what
good
it
map.
is about that map, but I really did like it. Yeah.
And Rustic Lands was also one of my other favorite ones too. I'd
I
like
think
to
we're
see
gonna
that come
get
back.
a lot of these maps back because now they're pretty much giving us the 3v3 modes, right? Survival's 3v3. Elimination is somewhere in the game, obviously. They're gonna try to bring some of those maps back to balance it, but I'd like to see some freaking new maps too that have like this 3v3 mindset. You know what I mean? We're gonna get it, Sweaty. There's no question.
See, in March is 5 years for Trials, so maybe they will bring it back.
People are thinking it's coming back next season.
I think it is too. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back next season.
Because I remember the good old days of Trials, trying to find a team.
Have you played Elimination yet? Any of you guys?
I
For
love
fun,
it.
or-
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. Like, obviously, it's probably gonna be, some changes and stuff, but I mean, the mode feels good right now. They did say, I think, when they said they were bringing it back, I think Luke Smith in one of the letters he wrote, one of the parts of the letter he wrote, said there's like 4 different builds for it, but I don't know. I think we've only seen one.
Maybe. I know the part that everyone's obsessing over is when he said, and we'll bring Trials back, hopefully, to a warmer home. So everyone's like, Season of Dawn is going to be on Mercury. That's going to be when they bring it back.
Yeah.
He could have just meant that it's coming back with the summer one.
If they bring it back with the whole like boon system, I think it'll be really successful again.
Trials of the Nine was trash.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree on it. Like the 4v4 thing, that they were like really heavy on the team shooting stuff, which isn't like, I don't know. It's definitely takes strategy, but there's like no hero moments, man. That's what Trials is about. People used to go in, like, 3v3 and have their 2 buddies leave just to see if they could, 1v3 their opponents and stuff.
There's something about D1 players being obsessed with hero moments.
It's not like just hero moment, bro. Like, think about it. Like, you go down, I go down, and then Ice is there, and there's 2 guys left, 3 guys left, or whatever, and he just fucking totally clutches it. It just makes good content. You can't deny that watching somebody do that will fire somebody up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's what we mean. I get what you're saying though. With that.
I've been there a few times.
Well, now there are, Sweaty, because it's 3v3, right? Survival's 3v3 now.
Comp. Speaking of comp, this season hitting Fabled was extremely easy. I
Yeah.
love the single
Yeah.
playlist. That's what I played in because a couple times I went in, tried to get a team and we just got shit on.
Do you like the glory grind change now? Like how easy it is? Do you think it's too easy, or like just right? Because for me, it's too easy, and I'm not like a hardcore sweaty
Well,
PvP guy, but it's like supposed to be competitive, right?
I think
don't
Now
part,
I haven't.
part of what it does though is it lets people who maybe don't belong at Legend get up to Legend, which then means that the people at Legend have people to trounce on when they're there, which is something that people have been complaining about on Twitter and like, why do I get into all these sweaty matches at high levels, which is a ridiculous thing to think about.
Yeah. But not just that, like the grind itself, right? Like when you lose a match now, you're not losing nearly as much points as you were last season and the seasons prior.
Yeah, if
You
they
I
know?
don't think you. I don't think you even lose 100 points for losing it now, and you
No.
keep your win streak and everything.
Yeah, because right, the win streak goes down like by single digits now. It's not like you don't lose
Mhm.
the whole thing. And see, I think like that's a little cheap too. Like, I get that they're trying, you know, but I don't know. I feel like trials are just gonna take over comp, and that's what's gonna be comp is.
Yeah, I want Trials to come back because I want people to stop obsessing over comp. Eh, there has to be a thing that is the end activity to do. And I think that trying to make that into comp creates weird atmospheres in comp that make it very hostile to people like me who are terrible at PvP but want to try to get better. I remember doing comp in Season of Opulence. I finished all my PvE stuff. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be the season where I focus on PvP, and I started doing comp. And I had fun playing games, and just like I did this season, when you're playing against people who are a little above your level, it's fun. You lose a lot, but you're still able to progress, and you're like, okay, well, I did this wrong and that. But then you get matched against that one team who's got someone on their team who already has recluse for some reason, even though you're playing at like 300 glory. And it's like, okay, well, this is weird. And they just totally destroy your team. It's like, well, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not enjoyable, and I didn't
Or-
learn anything from that.
It's also like because we play on PC, and I know it's like where we want to be, obviously, but dude, the matches are just so much sweatier. Like I have friends that still play on PS4 and stuff, and they're like they're great players. I'm gonna say they're great, but they're like unbroken and stuff. And when they even say when you come to PC, it's just sweaties.
I've considered hopping back over to PS4 to play Crucible. I might
God,
try
it
that
just
out.
it hurts my eyes.
I
Though.
couldn't do it. I could not do it. No way. The
It
frame rate
hurts.
and the field of view. No.
Yeah.
I tried it a bit with the summer thing, whatever that was. The EAZ. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, I tell some people that I had to go back to Xbox to play with my nephew, and it's horrible. I can't do it. I feel bad. He's like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "I'm busy playing on my PC."
Busy.
So yeah, do you guys like the changes to survival now that it's like 3v3 versus the 4v4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it just because it reminds me more of a Trials like game mode. Obviously, it's not the same, but the 3v3 is just perfect. It really is just the sweet spot for those kind of modes. And then obviously you still have your 6v6, and we also control is just the mode now, right? Is that what it is?
Momentum control?
No, just control. Like you could just go to control.
Yeah.
For 6v6. I love momentum control, but we know that's going away next week.
I would like to see the older 3v3 game modes come back, like shit, I can't think of it right now. The one with that it had that little thing you had to protect.
Search and destroy kind of thing? Oh. Yeah, isn't it their search and destroy thing?
No, it was on Destiny 1 3v3 and there was maybe chat. Somebody in chat will remember what it's called, but I can't remember what it's called right now. God damn it.
Rift, which was 6v6. Legion just said it.
No, this one was 3v3.
Wait, for For what? Destiny 1, you're saying? Salvage.
Salvage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where'd Salvage go? I haven't
I don't
even
know.
thought about
I
that.
used to play Salvage a lot. Rift
So
was
did I.
cool. I liked Rift, and then that one where you had to pick up those motes when you killed people. That was also
It
another
was
pretty
like
cool
it was
game
like Kill
mode.
Confirmed. Is that what it was called? No. That's the Call of Duty one, right? Kill Confirmed.
Yeah, that's Call of Duty.
Supremacy. Yeah, they rotated in the thing like weekly or whatever they do, but it's not. It was, I think it was permanent before, and that's what, or it was in the playlist for
Yeah.
like and people didn't like that.
That was an interesting choice to take all those separate
Yeah.
playlists and shove them together. I guess
Yeah.
they knew everyone hated PvP.
And do you guys like the changes to heavy? Because I still think heavy just makes the fucking PvP horrible. I still think it plays a part
in competitive game modes like
worse.
Trials and Comp. I don't like PvP. I don't like the heavy. It completely changes the entire game.
I don't understand why you need heavy in Crucible, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. Any of it.
Well, I do like how it creates, even in non-object oriented matches, it creates a goal, like a thing to do, rather than just running around the map hoping you find someone to kill them. And say, hey, we need to control the map. Let's control this heavy point, and you can focus around that.
It's trash, though.
I did like how they did.
That'd be tied otherwise.
Yeah.
I still liked how they did it in Trials Year 1, where there was heavy round, and then
but even that heavy round was stupid, because if you get the heavy, you win the round 9 out of 10 times, unless somebody pulls some hero shit.
I thought you liked hero moments.
I do, but I'm saying 9 out of 10 times. That's it. You know, God, it just ruins the whole flow of games for some people.
Map design, yeah. I agree that most of the maps are still based on the original vanilla.
Yeah.
We haven't got very many new maps. It's all a rotation of old maps, but they did take 4 maps out of the rotation, which they're supposed to be working on, and they're going to give them back to us at a later date. So I'm curious to see how those maps turn out.
They're gonna put a shader on it and be like, "Hey guys, they're ready. Here you go."
Adjusting spawns is a good thing to do, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fine. Anything like that is a good thing, but I don't know. At this rate, now that they're focusing on some 3v3 modes and obviously your 6v6, bring more of the old maps back then. I know it sucks. Everybody's going to be like, oh, it's recycled content, but because of the fact that you made the change to go back to 3v3 and you have a lot of 6v6 events, bring some back.
Yeah, I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah, and obviously I don't think we should pay for those, so sorry,
no one thinks they should pay for anything.
That's like you're literally reskinning those maps and then
they have to rebuild them though.
Yeah, but a lot of the information is there.
Yeah, like they don't have to design new maps.
Yeah, bro, it's easier than making new maps.
I mean, at $10 a season though, like,
all right, I would pay for some of those maps. If they came back and were like, here's all the best maps from Destiny 1 that you guys enjoyed, and put a price tag on it, I'd buy it.
How much would you pay for, say, 8 new maps?
8? Make it 10, and I will pay $20 for that.
$2 a map?
Why not?
I don't know how they do any of their pricing. They do one large thing like VO, and it's $10 along with all the other stuff. Again, this comes back to the conversation we had last week. Would you be okay with more Eververse itemization in order to fund those maps?
Yeah, like, I'll admit, I spent some money in Eververse last week. I finally got Izanagi's Burden, and the gun default, I think, looks like ass, so I spent the $10 and I bought that skin from Eververse.
I just don't understand why people think it would be so hard for them to bring these maps over.
Because this was something that people complained and yelled about a lot when the game first started. Why don't you just insert these things as free content, since they'll cost you nothing to make, and they can add more things for us in the game? And one of the creators specifically came out and said, we can't do that. That's not how it works. We have to remake the entire thing in the Destiny 2 engine. So it's not as easy as you think it would be.
Fair enough, but this is their job.
Yes.
Like, and they have all this stuff at their disposal. And as a Destiny fan, I put a ton of money into this franchise. I don't think asking for old maps is like the worst thing I could possibly ask for.
Bungie's actually pretty good at not charging us that much money.
I mean, I'm not complaining about what I spent over the past 5 years, but
see, Luke Smith did come out and say that he doesn't want his people to crunch. Just go in, work your 40 hours a week, and leave. Like some companies, like it came out that Epic, their employees were working 70, 80 hours a week just to get updates out for Fortnite. And then, you're not making your developers. People have lives. You don't want to burn people out.
No,
yeah, definitely.
I think give them another year, and we have to see what happens after that, because we've only got one season so far. I feel like I don't know. I want to know how much money they're making, because I would assume, hopefully, with the Eververse and everything, I kind of think seasons are too cheap too, that they should be making enough money. I would expect them to price themselves in that way, that they can produce more content for us. If people are going to buy the game to play PvP, then yeah, make more PvP maps. Do more stuff with that. Put it in like a full team on it instead of the anemic responses we get. When we started out the season, we got like 2 really quick responses on issues with PvP.
Yeah. I feel like, though, if you're a Destiny 2 player, you could kind of agree that they've ignored PvP for the last, few seasons.
It's a hard thing to touch because everyone...
Fair. I know it's not easy to balance both sides of the game, but it just from, the content that we've gotten on the PvE side versus what we've gotten on the PvP side is just... they're worlds different. Worlds apart. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, one of them's the main focus of the game, and one of them's
it wasn't always
an
like
activity
that,
in the game.
I guess now that the game has evolved, the PvE side kind of has just taken over completely in a way.
No, but, I would say that there's just a lot of stuff in PvE. So,
now
if we were to individually compare the way that they've treated strikes to the way they've treated PvP, I think it would be more of a fair comparison, as opposed to saying, well, look at everything they've done for PvE versus just the rate, or versus just this one PvP thing. Sweaty asked if the artifact's going to be here next season. It will be. I understand that a lot of people really disliked the whole artifact thing.
That they disliked it? Well, I mean, I don't think that things like Thunder Coils should be in the artifact. If that's what you mean. Yeah, he's mentioned it now. I think, yeah. I don't know. I was listening to another podcast, and one of the guys there did say, maybe the artifact is a good way for them to test mods that they want to implement in the game. And then they could, if they don't like them, obviously it just doesn't go on the next season mod. I mean, the next season's artifact.
Yeah, they've said
that makes sense. So that I mean, obviously Thunder Coil is not going to work in the game.
But this game is always evolving. They're always going to try new things, take things out, mix it up, get community feedback.
Yeah.
Me, it's kind of cool that you can level up past whatever your pinnacle light is, but it gives you something to do instead of where before you could just once you would hit your highest light level 9, which should be like 950 and then 960, there's really nothing left to do because you're max light. Now you could grind out to get higher on your artifact.
Yeah. Legion just said a point that I think I made last week. He's waiting for them to finally realize loot-based leveling is too much of a pain in the ass versus experience. Loot-based leveling is cool, but you could replace it with experience. Still give us meaningful loot, and control things better to make sure that the leveling experience isn't a pain in the ass.
Kind of agree with Rex on that one.
Like, again, I don't
You guys
know
are literally
why.
trying to turn the game into something else, though. You know that when you say things like that.
No,
it wouldn't be
I'm
Destiny
aware.
anymore.
It wouldn't be Destiny 2. It also wouldn't be an RNG fest. You can still get loot. I'm not saying that they should remove loot from the game. I'm saying that leveling up because you happen to do something that gave you a powerful drop that happened to be in the right spot is not a fun thing. But anyway, and as far as the PvP goes with the artifact and all that, after listening to Sweaty talk a lot, I spent a lot of time in the Crucible channel listening to people complain about things. And they're fair complaints for the vast majority of it. They just need to do what they did with momentum control, where they create a specific mode where things behave differently, but make that the comp game mode. Give us a quick play for people who want to go in with last word and whatever and just derp around and murder people, and then give us a comp mode where you can't use weapons that have a outlier TTK, or where you can't use weapons that or use things like One-Eyed Mask. And then if they made it like Trials, where it comes back every weekend, they could change what you can and can't use every weekend too. Maybe one weekend they let you use One-Eyed Mask, and then they realize that it's terribly OP, and they remove it the next one. That would solve the issue of this thing's too broken, as well as giving us, it would give people like an actual comp like game mode, something that's not reliant on the weird ass shit we get in PvE.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Start talking about the Iron Banner.
Eh.
You did it though. I know you did it for the Pinnacles.
I did do it for the Pinnacles. I don't think I did it this last time though, because the Pinnacle gear is the Pinnacle grind is kind of boring and
Iron Banners.
It's very boring, but it's another topic. Yeah, what'd you think about the banner there, Ice?
It's the same as it's been for the past 6 months. You know, armor doesn't really attract me that much. The weapons are still the same. But I still play it for the pinnacle weapons.
Oh, I remember. I played it for Pinnacle gear.
There you go.
I don't care about the armor because I've got armor that I use, and I bought the Empyrean set from the store, so I'm just gonna use that on everything. I did it for the Pinnacle gear, like grinding out the rest of my Randy's kills and stuff in that. And it was really fun until people came in with meta builds and just made the entire game mode less fun.
I'll agree with what Sweaty said. It's repetitive. They need to rework Iron Banner or do something different to it.
I mean, it is a lot different than it was, like in vanilla.
Well, I'm curious, what makes it repetitive compared to other PvP? Is it because it's always the same game mode?
It's always control. I mean, I feel like if you change the mode, though, kind of loses its identity.
Well, the thing with Iron Banner is light level is it doesn't matter. I mean, light level does matter.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing with Iron Banner.
You guys think the 4 Pinnacle drops is reasonable enough?
Last time it was nice because you could like complete one and not turn it in, and then collect it the next day. And I had like 8 of them at one point, and then turn them all in. And this week you're only able, or this time you were only able to do 4. But really, once I hit those 4, then I stopped playing Iron Banner because there's nothing in there. I don't really care for the weapons, and the armor. I don't like how the armor is tied to a quest.
That quest was kind of fun. It was nice to have a specific
I didn't do
goal. I think it took me like 2 or 3 hours for each character.
Exactly what Metal said. Too many people focus on bounties to the point where winning the match is secondary.
Yeah, losing's never fun.
That's very true, though. Actually, the bounties become priority over winning or losing, for sure. Do you guys think the armor's sexy?
It's
the
not
banner armor.
It's
like
not
the
as
Rise of
outrageous as it
Iron.
could be.
The Rise of Iron armor looked
Kayla thinks
great.
it's sexy.
What'd you say?
Kayla thinks it's sexy.
I also miss those like D1 Iron Banner guns, like Fell Winners, and those guns that everybody had to have. Where you would, that's why you played Iron Banners, because you went in there for those specific guns, like Claw of the Dragon, or whatever it was called. Fell Winners Live was super good.
Yeah, but guns. Good or broken?
Well, that was at a point when shotguns, you had shot package, and you could put luck in the chamber on shotguns. You could kill people from a mile away, but
But like, is that a good thing that people went in there because you had to have those guns?
it's something to grind for.
Do that stuff. Was Iron Banner every weekend, or was it like every month, like it currently is?
Every 3 weeks.
It's
3
always
week rotation. Yeah,
every month. Yeah,
which is shocking because this time it came back 2 weeks after the first one.
Well, the season started later than it normally would have.
Are they saying it's going back to every 3 weeks, or is this like a new trend now?
I would assume it's going back to every 3 weeks, just because, or I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I did like that the Iron Banner stuff, quote unquote, significantly or often dropped high stat rolls consistently. That's what I'm. But that's another conversation about shitty stat rolls, like getting a 54 on a masterworked piece of gear. But Iron Banner wasn't the most fun mode that they had. That was momentum control, without a doubt.
I had that game mode can be really infuriating. It seems like everybody's going for the same thing.
Just Randy's kills.
Yep. So you'll have 4 people trying to sit in one area, and it's just like duck hunt. As soon as everybody sees one person, it's just aim and shoot. Whoever's got the best aim will get that kill. But there's a couple times that I almost had a 7th column.
Nice.
And overall, I enjoyed that game mode. It's a nice switch to the meta. I loved SWAT. I played that a lot in Halo.
Oh, momentum?
Yeah, momentum.
My jam. Had a great time grinding my Randys in there.
I think that's the reason why they put that game mode in, because
I think it's just good to grind anything you need kills with. It's great.
Well, people were comparing it to SWAT from Halo, and note that they did specifically make that comparison when they announced it. I think my favorite thing about it, thinking about it more, was that the respawn timer was so short. If there was one, I don't enjoy dying and then being forced to sit around for a little bit. I like to play fast games, and I generally choose my class around that, my weapons and all that. And it's one of the reasons I don't like PvP generally, is because if I ook, I end up dying, and then I sit around for a while I wait. But in momentum, you're right back in. Go at it again.
It's literally bam.
Scout and Mid-Tree Night Stalker. Yeah, where you get a headshot and you go invisible. Like last week's video in the Twab, a guy got 2 7th columns in one match because of that. That's pretty.
I had a lot of fun with that. It was a good way to try out something new, see different type of gameplay. I think what is important about this type of gameplay and Scorch and all that is you're introducing new experiments to the PvP formula, where if you're getting feedback about like Elimination or Clash or Iron Banner, you've only got certain things, and they all still have a lot of the same variables. So when you're trying to figure out what people don't like about it, you're not sure if they don't like the meta because of this reason or that. And then you introduce something like momentum control. And with momentum control, it's pretty much just point and click. You have Jade Rabbit, well, you have an insta kill gun. And from there, they can be like, well, people didn't like this about those maps, or people didn't like peeking and get their head shut off. I understand that at higher levels, people didn't enjoy the fact that the second you peeked, the match was pretty much over because you got killed by someone. Whereas other people were commenting that they loved not having the radar on because you could fly around and do stuff without people just being able to know where you are at all times.
But they did that with the no radar on comp for, I think they did it in vanilla, or maybe after.
They did it in Curse of Osiris, I believe.
And nobody liked it. A lot of people complained about it.
I would be hesitant, or I'd be interested to know who everybody is, because I know that there are a lot of people who complain on Reddit, and there's only like, I don't think the entire community is on Reddit.
But it seems like
the big
people. It seems like the people who complain are the only ones that have a problem, and they have the mouth, right? Because the people who enjoy the game aren't going on the forums. They're not going to Reddit. They're not voicing their opinion. Hey, this is broken. This sucks. And then they complain, and then stuff gets nerfed. But some stuff is stuff that we all bitch about, but we don't post about it. That needs nerfed.
Well, that's why I'm glad that Bungie doesn't just swing wildly. They pay attention, they look at what they're doing, and then if they agree that something needs a nerf, they'll change it. Like with Recluse, they could have changed that faster, I think, but what they ended up doing was fantastic. And if they just randomly gone about changing things, I think they may have accidentally done something stupid like nerf all SMGs, and then drive them even further into the ground. Instead, they just made it, here's a curated SMG that basically is Rampage.
I was kind of worried they didn't, because Bungie's been known to completely neuter stuff when they nerf it, and it's just like look at the first time they nerfed Middle Tree Knights or
Nova
the
Warp.
Void Nova Warp. Yes, thank you. They completely neutered it, like it was completely useless for a while, and then they brought it back so where people were still using it. People were using it again.
Yeah, I am still kind of upset about that one, to be honest.
That was ridiculously strong, where you could kill people through walls and stuff. I remember that.
No, sure, it needed a nerf. I don't think it needed to be murdered the way it was. Although I have been using it in Gambit a bit, and it wasn't too bad.
Well, right now I feel supers are in a pretty good place in Crucible because, before, if you heard the clang of a hammer or the sound of a Night Stalker, you basically just had to run and hope that he didn't come around that corner, or you were dead because there was nothing you could do to kill him. But now I loved shotgun meleeing people out of their supers, and it's such a good feeling to be able to shut down a super.
Yeah, one-shot headshots are really, really satisfying when you pull them off on a super.
Yes.
Of course.
And that's coming from someone who can't PvP. Or
you can PvP, you just don't like it.
I got headshot out of my hammers the other day, like flying through the air, just dome. Like, what a great shot.
Yeah. Yeah. If I feel like when you're playing against people who are more on your level and aren't using meta loadouts, you get killed and it's like, oh, that was a really good kill. I respect that. When you get killed with Recluse, it's like, all right, fine.
So, do you guys like the addition of Elimination, even though it's in the labs?
Maybe.
Have you played it yet, Face?
Nope.
Oh, dude, you gotta at least try it.
Nah.
Really?
Say
Elimination? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Elimination. I know you're you're a D1
I used to play Trials every weekend when it was out.
Yeah.
And it's exactly as I remember it. And they bring back Widow's Court. That's the very first map that I went flawless on.
Mine?
Destiny.
Oh, the original Widow's Court.
Yeah, like that's one of my favorite maps.
Mine was, what the fuck is it?
And then bringing back
Pantheon.
elimination,
That was it.
It's just as I remember.
What's different about elimination versus survival?
Elimination is 3v3.
Survival.
Well, go ahead.
Survival, you have lives, right? So you have 4 lives and you spawn in. So if you die, you lose a life.
In Elim, you die, you're out.
Yeah, in elimination,
no.
If you die,
so there's no. All right, so you have infinite revives, essentially. So if somebody goes down 8 times, you could bring them back, but every time, I think their timer goes up and up and up. Right? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
So it was really interesting with like the self revs.
So like people don't revive like using lives. They don't respawn. You have to
you're not respawning ever. You die, you're staying as the orb until the match is over, or somebody respawns you.
Okay.
And the cool thing is that you used to be able to do you can do an elimination is people that are good enough with snipers. As soon as you get revived, you have that period where you can't move.
Yeah.
So as soon as you get revived, you can shoot somebody right in the head as soon as they're picked up, and they're instantly dead again.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a cool thing. That sounds like something people would complain about.
It became a cool thing because so you're on my team and you died, right? So I know the snipers got his sights on your orb, right?
Yep.
So I would push you as I'm reviving you. To fuck with his shot. And then that literally became a part of the strategy, during these games. Like, if you're gonna res me, you gotta push me. But you get that call out all the time.
I'm sure it'll be different now because before, with it being on Xbox and PS4 using a controller, you had aim assist. So with you pushing, say, Face when he was dead, the aim assist would pull onto you and he would miss his shot. Now with it being on PC, there is no aim assist. So
I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point, dude. I mean, if anything, it'll try to fuck with the guy's aim that's trying to shoot you. So I don't know. That's something we have to see it when we play now. But yeah, exciting. It's just super cool mode, and when they add trials back, it is going to be way more interesting because when you're on that 8th game, trying to win your 9th, dude, it just makes you feel all crazy emotions.
I've been there too. Like
I would honestly
sweaty.
compare it to you're in the top 5 in a BR game at that point, and your fucking stomach is turning,
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I remember the first time I got first place in PUBG, and it's just that feeling yeah,
We only have a minute
the first
left.
time you go flawless, and especially if it's a close game too, and then you clutch the last kill, and it's you and your teammates are cheering. You're like, hell yeah, yeah, and you're you go to the lighthouse.
I'll see you tomorrow, Johnny. Hit me up.
But the most disappointing thing is though, you go to the lighthouse, I hope I get this gun, and you get disappointed with RNG.
Yeah. All right, I gotta ask the last question, and it's gonna be what we end the show on. So, do you think Destiny 2 needs PvP to still be relevant?
Yes.
Yes?
No, that's a stupid question.
No, I think yes.
They would be perfectly relevant without it, but they'd be expected to do more on the PvE side. I think it definitely helps. I don't think they should get rid of it entirely.
Why would they be? Wait, you're saying they would be expected to up their PvE game?
Yeah.
But because that's all they do right now.
That's not all they do right now.
I mean, in terms of the game right now, it's poorly balanced, and PvE definitely takes the chunk of that cake.
But okay, so what they did was they created ritual activities, and they specifically called them ritual activities, and now they're calling other things ritual weapons and so on. Because it's the things you're supposed to do when you're done with everything else. You just keep doing it after every season. You keep going in to play Gambit, or strikes are your thing. I don't know anyone for whom strikes are their thing, but I assume they're out there. or PvP. You go and play PvP. I don't think it's intended to be the main meat of the game, but it's definitely supposed to be something that you do when you've done everything else. It's a hypothetically infinite, repeatable content that isn't going to be the exact same every time you play it until metas take over. I think it definitely helps, but if they didn't have it, they'd be expected to do more with strikes or more with Gambit or more with raids to fill in that what am I doing at endgame period. Right now, they just kind of ignore it. They put stuff out for it, but they don't treat it as well as they could. And I think that does cause them issues that
they don't treat it well at all.
I think if they add trials back, then that would
just create more buzz. I don't think it'll fix it.
That would be the main, because really right now there's really no in-game PvP activity. Like you have comp, but who really just plays comp to play comp?
No, but I think like if they made a system, which I know is not easy, but if they made something that was more like, I don't know, friendly for a competitive player that is looking for that experience, they could do it. Destiny 1 was more competitive than Destiny 2 is in terms of PvP. I'm not saying it was great. Don't like put words in my mouth there. Like I know it wasn't like a Call of Duty type game, but it just felt more balanced. And again, I know it's hard to balance PvE with the PvP, but it could be done. I really do think it could be done.
See, yeah. Rex asks, I'm curious why you like Destiny PvP more than other games. See, with me, PvP in Destiny 2.
That's a good question.
Destiny is just such a great shooter. The gun mechanics feel great.
No, I agree. That's for me, the reason why I keep coming back mainly is because of the gameplay. It's a fun game to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think anybody could deny that the shooting in that game is just so well done. But yeah, that's the show, guys. Like, we could go on and on, but
yeah.
I mean,
And then Sweaty says Destiny PvP is pretty shit. Of course, he's a PvP guy.
But I love it.
I mean, yeah, you play the game because it's Destiny, not because you want. You play it because you want to play Destiny and you want to do some PvP.
Complete.
You want to do PvP for the sake of doing PvP. I doubt many people come to Destiny.
Yeah.
They've tried to be competitive before, where you would have loadout restrictions. You could only have one of the same. You couldn't have You couldn't have the same.
Exotic.
Well, certain exotics were banned. You could only have one of the same class. They couldn't be on the same. Like you could only have like Void, Arc, and Solar, and.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so there's like competitive tournament rules that they did. Well, they used. I don't know if they still do tournaments for Destiny, but I've watched some before, back in Destiny 1, but when they used to do competitive stuff. But
oh, you don't mean in-game things. You mean like scrim tournaments.
Yes. Like I don't know if they do that anymore.
I think maybe. No, I know they do.
I'm sure people do it. It's just other people organizing it. It's not Bungie.
Because there was Major League Gaming actually picked up Destiny for a while. It was hosting tournaments.
And then they put that shit down right away.
Interesting.
It's not a good competitive game right now. It's just not. But yeah. I think this is where we're gonna part ways. We appreciate you guys coming out. All right, you two say goodbye.
Bye.
See ya.
See ya. And that's about all the time we have for tonight's show. You can find the link to our Discord down below, as well as our link to our YouTube and our clan Twitter. It's there. And as well as our individual Twitter handles. Thank you guys so much. And please tune in next Sunday at 8 p.m. Thanks for stopping by.